Hello, I'm going to show today how to turn a GIF image into a usable watch face on your Apple Watch, so it animates slightly before going to a still image. I do apologise in advance if this ain't very good of a video. I haven't had to make one of these for a while, so what we'll need, I'm going to go through every step, so even the steps of converting a file, but I'll probably link the Pipboy ones actually in the downloads in the description, so you won't actually have to do any of these steps, but just for future reference. So I've just got this basic GIF image from Jiffy, which is pretty easy. I've resized the actual image, so it's 312 by 390, I believe. Let's just double check. Yeah, 312 by 390, which is the resolution of your Apple Watch. We'll want 2 JPEG images and a movie file. So what I'm going to do first is I've got this still image here, which is what I want as my thumbnail, as well as the still image what I see with my actual time when the animation's finished. So I'm just going to export this as a JPEG file. I'm just going to rename it now just to save time later. So img underscore, and then we can obviously just enter the numbers later. And then we want to make sure that we put the actual file extension in caps as well. And then I also want our GIF file, so let's just export that for legacy and save. And this one doesn't matter too much about the extension, since we'll be converting this file anyway. So the only apps that you'll need, like programs, I'm using a software called iAmazing, just so I can browse my file system on my phone. You can also use other free applications like iFunbox. They offer a free piece of software that you can also do the same. However, I can't use it because it crashes from the amount of photos that are on my phone. So that's why I'm using iAmazing, since I know it works. I also use another app called PhotoMe. This probably isn't necessary, but I do it just so I can change the metadata on the pictures and just copy it from a previous live photo that I also know works. I'll link all the downloads in the description as well, so you can just literally import the file if you do want to use the PhotoMe app. But like I said, it might not be necessary, but I do it just because it works. And then the other website we'll be using is cloudconvert.com. You can sign up, you get like free 25 converts per day, so you never really have to pay any money at all. So now that we've got our files, if I reload this, there we go. So now we've got our GIF image, so this is the file that we want as a movie file, and then we've got a JPEG as well. So I'm going to change the metadata now just so it's done. So I just want to open the data and then import EXIF file and then save. So that's done. I don't need that, I don't need that. And then I just want to copy this. So we've got 2 versions, and we want to rename the second one as 5005.jpg. so this will be our file, the thumbnail basically for our live photo in our camera app, and this is the file extension, that, like the naming convention they use for the thumbnails. Then we want to go and select files. We want to convert this GIF image and make sure it's to a MOV file. Where are you? There you are. And then just start conversion. You don't need to touch any of the settings, just hit start and then just download. There we are. And then I just want to rename this back to that. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what. img underscore dot mov. Why did that change that back? Oh, There we go. Sorry, my computer's been a bit weird. So once we've got our movie file and our 2 JPEG files, we want to open our app that we can browse our files. So obviously it will look different depending on what program you're using, but for the most part, if they've got a file browsing system, they should have this basic layout. We will be going under media, and there should be a folder called DCIM. In here, depending on how many pictures you've taken, will depend on whether you use the 100 Apple or the 101 Apple, or so on and so on. I'm using the 101 Apple, so that's got my most recent images, which is this one here. And then we just want to rename the files that we created to whatever the 4-digit number is on our most recent file, the live photo that we took. What will we then be doing? Did I actually take a live photo? I might not have. Sorry about this. Let's just quickly take a picture. We can do it on the most recent one. Desktop. There we go. Okay, cool. So let's just take a random picture, just so we can see. So if I just refresh this, there should be 1858 now. There we go. So if we just rename these 1858. There we go. And then we just want to replace the files that we just made. Apply to all, replace. And then the next folder that we'll be messing with will be under photo data. So this is where our thumbnails will be stored, and then we want to go under thumbnails, V2, DCIM, and then it'll be the same whether it be 100 or 101. This one's organised by folders, so you just got to find the folder that's IMG and then whatever the number is that you use. So that's mine. And then we just replace. Ooh, there we go. And then just replace that folder, and then that's pretty much done. If you don't have, just backtracking a little bit, so in your 101, 100 Apple folder, if you don't have it as a .jpg and it's a .heic, I believe. Let's see if I've actually got any on it. Just as an example, which I don't think I have. No, I haven't. So if you do have a .heic file, that's the new file format that Apple brought in with iOS 11, I believe. You can disable this in the settings. So if we go back on to our phones, just so I can show you. Settings, there we go. And then we just want to go down to our camera, and then we want formats, and then we just want most compatible. That will start producing the standard .jpg files. I don't know why I locked that. So you can actually, it makes it a lot easier to edit, since there's no actual software that I'm aware of that you can produce files under that format. Once you have edited your live photo, it should now appear there. What I tend to do is edit it and then disable the audio, and then when you hit done, it actually saves the image, the live photo should I say, so it recognises it as an actual live photo. Other times you might get it where the video decides to flip round and God knows what. If you just do that straight off the bat, it tends to just save it as is. Then we just want to go and make a watch face just from here. If you try and do it from the actual Apple Watch, it doesn't quite like it, so it won't actually show you the image. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but the easiest way is to just set up the watch face on the app. So we can just leave it as that. Let's try and see if I can position this so it's not. Bear with me. Alright. If I take this off, I do apologise about this. Not very professional. Alright, so we've now got our Apple Watch face. So you can actually customise them still on the actual Apple Watch. It's just you can't set them up. Let's see if we can, when it decides to actually turn off. It's just deciding it's not going to. Come on. Any time now. Let's see if I can do it this way. There we go. There we go. And there's the animation. Awesome. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just either message in the Reddit where I posted this. I'll probably try and keep on top of it. I do apologise if these are kind of janky. Like I said, I'm not really prepared for this, so I hope this was helpful, and yeah, thanks for watching.